If you guys didn't notice, the clothes I'm wearing in the thumbnail and the clothes I'm wearing today are different. As because I filmed this video once before, like 2 weeks ago, and I really didn't like it, so I kind of scrapped it, and I've waited until now to refilm it. So what is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hope that wherever you are in the world, you're doing well and staying safe. If you're new here, my name is Richard, and every week I make videos about men's fashion, streetwear, and sneakers. Or actually, I don't know about every week. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been gone for about a month. And I do apologize for that. And the reason for that is because, in the last month, quarantine's been lifted. So I've met some of my friends, some of whom I haven't seen for over 9 months since I've been in the UK. I've been going back to the gym, and I've been doing some courses online because, I can't get internship. So I gotta do something to upgrade my skills. I've been learning some data science stuff. That's been pretty fun. Also, election season in Singapore just happened, so I've been caught up with that as well. And to be quite honest, YouTube hasn't been a priority for me. I've been prioritizing other stuff in my life over this. But I'm back. Hope to get back on the weekly YouTube publishing thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do every week, but we'll see how it goes. I'll see how I manage my schedule from now on. Also, if you've noticed, my hair is out. I'm not wearing my cap anymore. And that's because my hair has gotten so long to the point where it sticks out at the sides and it looks really terrible. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna put my hair out for the world to see. I should cut it, but I low-key want to see what it looks like if it's grown out. So this is the result now. But anyways, for today's video, to sort of get back into the swing of things for me, I'm gonna do a collection video on the rest of my MXs. So if you guys haven't seen my previous collection video, which I'll link up here, I've already done a collection of my MX1s. So today will be the rest of the MX models in my collection because, I really fell in love with the so-called MX dynasty. The format will be similar to my first video, whereby I'll go over a little bit of facts about the colorway of the shoe, where I got the sneaker, and whether I'll be selling it or not. And that's also the second reason why I wanna, because I'm kinda honestly really broke. So I wanna just showcase off some of these shoes before I sell them. So without further ado, let's get into the first sneaker. Now the first sneaker will be this, the MX180 in the Ultramarine colorway. So this is actually the OG colorway for this model. Came out in, I believe, 1994. And I actually really like the sneaker. It's my favorite non-mainstream MX model, I suppose, because I'm sure there are actually quite a lot of you guys who haven't heard of this model before, even though it retroed recently in 2018. And that's actually when I picked this up. In early 2018, Nike decided to retro this model, as well as another one I'll get into later. Sort of, I suppose, to celebrate MX Day. It was around that time anyways. And the story about how I picked these up is actually really funny. I knew that Nike recently retroed them, and I wanted to pick them up, but I didn't exactly have the funds to. So I sort of just put in a super low ball bid on StockX. I think it was about $60, and I just wanted to monitor the price of how it would perform because not a lot of people wanted the shoe at the time. And surprisingly enough, someone accepted my $60 bid. So that's how I got this. You could say that I accidentally bought the sneaker. Now I've actually gotten a fair amount of use out of the sneaker. So as to whether I'll be selling it or not, I'm not too sure because in the condition it's in, I'm not sure how much it can fetch. But also because, like I said, this is one of my favorite non-mainstream MX models, and I think it's a really great design. I actually follow this MX180 account on Instagram, which I'll show somewhere on screen here, and there are actually some really sick colorways from years past. So I might just keep this in my collection. Anyways, let's move on to the next sneaker. And my next sneaker will be the MX93. So if it wasn't already obvious, this came out in 1993. And one interesting fact about the MX93 was that this is originally called the MX270, but I think Nike changed the name of this model to the MX93 to make way for the MX270 that came out in 2018. Now, this is in the Dusty Cactus colorway. You can see this menthol coloring over here. As to why it's called Dusty Cactus, I'm honestly not sure, but this is the OG colorway for this model. And similar to the MX180, this also retroed recently in early 2018. And this sneaker is actually the reason why I couldn't afford the MX180 for retail. So the story as to how I got these was that, I was just browsing around my local sneaker store. It was around MX Day. And the reason why I got this was because actually, if you guys recall, that was around the time that the Sean Wotherspoon 97 ones came out as well. And they were sort of having this sort of raffle system or competition for the Sean Wotherspoon 97 ones, where that you had to buy at least one pair of MXs, which will be an entry into this competition. So this is the model that I chose. And honestly, don't really have any regrets. I still really like the sneaker. You can see the 270 degrees of air around it. And it's quite unfortunate that I got this coloring over here. I have no idea what went on. I haven't seen anyone else's MX93s that are like this. But it is what it is. I also got a fair amount of use out of them. You can see a lot of scuffs here. I think I've worn these out on a few nights out before, and they're actually really comfortable because of this neoprene sock liner. Oh, one thing I forgot to add, if you look at the sole, we can see this really cool retro pattern over here that I think was present in the OG model as well. So there's a nice touch to it. So as to whether I'll be selling these or not, like I said before, there's this weird discoloration. So once again, don't know how much I'll be able to fetch on the aftermarket, but you know, we'll see how that goes. I may try to sell them, but I don't know if it'll be worth it in the end. Anyways, let's move on to the next sneaker. For my next sneaker, we have this MX95. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know the MX95 model, but I don't think a lot of you have seen this specific colorway. So I honestly can't remember what the colorway is called, but it's very reminiscent of ACG coloring, you know, with the speckled outsole and these bright neon colors. And one interesting thing about this model is that this is actually a premium model. So you see these panels over here, you know, normally they're in a sort of suede or nubuck, but this is actually in a quite a nice leather over here, as well as the tongue and the toe box. So that's an interesting touch to see. Now, as to where I bought this sneaker, it was actually from Excluding, because they were having a sale on this sneaker, and I think I added this to my cart just so I could cross the threshold for free shipping to Singapore. Now, looking back on it, it was a pretty dumb decision because even though I've said before in some of my previous videos that I like a lot of colors, I think this is honestly a bit much. I don't know how to style these at all. You can see that these are still dead stock. I will be trying to sell them, but once again, I have no clue how much this will garner on the second-hand market, but we'll have to see about that. Anyways, let's move on to the next sneaker. For the next sneaker, we have yet another pair of MX95s. Now, this is in the solar red colorway. I'm not actually 100% sure on this colorway. You can see all these infrared hits over here that look more pink than orange. It's sort of reminiscent of the kind of infrared that they used on the previous version of the Jordan 6 infrareds, where it wasn't really red and more pink. I believe that this colorway actually came out around the time of the release of this sneaker, but it wasn't an OG colorway, and this sort of leads into why I got the sneaker. So I believe that this released around end of 2018, and I got it from one of the US retailers. I can't remember which one it was. So I paid way too much for shipping. But at the time, I thought that this was an OG colorway. And you know, I said in my previous videos that I really like collecting OG colorways of different sneakers. So I decided to bite the bullet and pull the trigger on this. Then I found out after I got the sneaker that it's not actually an OG colorway, so you guys can imagine I was not happy. Now honestly, I think I may have either worn it out once or tried it on once, and I've never worn it again because, to be quite honest, I don't like the MX95 model that much. The only colorway that I would consider buying would be the OG colorway, you know, the neon greens. Or maybe another one would be the recent Comme des Garçons MX95s, but I think those are going for crazy prices now, so I forgot about that. So if you guys couldn't tell by my tone, I would definitely be trying to sell these. I need to recall whether I wore them or not so that I can decide whether I can sell it on StockX. Anyways, next sneaker. Boom, this is the next one, the OG colorway of the MX97 in the silver bullet colorway. Now, if you watched one of my previous videos, I think it was my video about my relationship with sneakers, you guys will have already seen this sneaker, and it's always behind me in my videos. Now, this is the first sneaker I've ever owned, and you know, there's a lot of nostalgia associated with it. So this colorway is the silver bullet colorway, and it's the OG colorway for the MX97. Now there's a lot of debate as to what the origin of the colorway was. A lot of people have been saying that it's actually based on Japanese bullet trains, hence the name, but I believe that the designer of the shoe actually came out to say that this is not true, and this is actually based on mountain bikes or something. If that turns out to be the actual story, it's a little bit disappointing, because honestly, the bullet train story sounds a lot cooler, but oh well, I digress. I picked up this sneaker in late 2017 when I was in the Netherlands, and it was actually in I believe it was a JD Sports or Foot Locker, and it was just sort of sitting there, and I had no idea what it was. I just saw it, and I thought it was cool because there were all these 3M hits over here, and I thought it'd be funny to show my friends on nights out, you know, be like, oh, hey, you know, you shine a flashlight, my shoe will light up. I just sort of got it as a joke, to be honest. And boy am I glad I did, because this sort of started my journey with sneakers. At the time, I honestly had no idea of the value of this sneaker, so I just trashed the crap out of it, you can see, because I used to wear this on nights out a lot. Like, this shoe is a tank, but I think there's only so much abuse you can take. I'm definitely gonna have to go and get the sneaker clean sometime soon. But anyways, onto whether I'll be selling this or not. Definitely not. If you guys couldn't tell from the tone of my voice, this sneaker is sort of up there with my MX1 anniversary rates, in that I'll never ever sell them because of the strong, nostalgic and sentimental value that this has to me. But now, let's move on to the next sneaker. Next sneaker will be the Golden Bullet MX97s. Okay, to be honest, I don't know if that's the actual name, but you know, you can't have silver without gold, and that's what this sneaker is. So for the backstory behind the colorway, I actually have no clue how this colorway came about. I'm assuming it was released as a pack with the MX97s, or at least released around the same time as them. I actually really love the colorway. I think that the red and the Nike swoosh stands out a lot more on the gold backdrop as opposed to it on the silver colorway. So to be honest, without all the sentimental value and the meaning behind it, I actually think I like this colorway better. Now, I believe that this retro, again in late 2018, and I picked it up from Sneakers and Stuff, I believe. And once again, I paid a stupid amount of delivery fees for this because I was panicking. My reason for this is because I thought that the prices for these would shoot up like how I did with the silver bullet, so I wanted to get them for retail by any means necessary. Whether that was necessary or not, I really don't think so, but oh well. So yeah, I got the sneaker and I've worn it on quite a few nights out as well because like I said earlier, the MX-97 is a tank of an MX model, but not as much as my other ones, so they're not as dirty, but they could still use a good cleaning. Now as to whether I'll sell these or not, once again, I'm not sure. Like honestly, it's such a beautiful sneaker. I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it, so the resale value will surely be lower, but I honestly don't need this in my collection, you know, and I need the money. So to be honest, I don't want to sell this, but I probably will end up selling it eventually. On the somber note, let's move on to the next sneaker, and bam, here we have it, the MX-98 in the tour yellow colorway. Now, if you guys couldn't tell already, the MX-98 came out after the MX-97 in 1998. And if you notice, it's the same outsole as the AMX-97. Now, the tour yellow colorway, I believe, was one of the OG colorways of the AMX-98, along with the Gundam colorway, which is a red and blue one. So, the story about how I picked this sneaker up is actually, I was visiting one of these sneaker outlet stores we have in Singapore, and I saw that they had this, and I was blown away because I think at the time, the resale prices for these were quite high. So I decided, you know, I had to take the opportunity and scoop it up for a steal. And that's the reason why this actually isn't even in my size. It's half a size up, but I could still fit in it. So I decided, why not, you know. The laces are out because I tried them on the store, but you can see them down, so I've never worn these. So to be honest, while these are beautiful pair of sneakers, I'm definitely going to be selling these because I just don't need this in my wardrobe. I already have 97s, I don't really need 98s, even though they do look quite different, but the silhouette's the same. Hopefully the resale prices are still pretty high, so I can get a good amount of money back. Anyways, on to the last sneaker. And here we have it, the MX Plus, or as it's known in the UK, the MX TN, or simply the TNs, because of this logo over here, which stands for Tune There. Now I believe that this retro in late 2018 or in the early part of 2019. I honestly can't remember. And this is the Hyper Blue colorway. Now this is one of the original colorways of the MX Plus, along with the Sunset Orange colorway and the Purple colorway, which I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, these are the two other OG colorways which I'll show over here. And I once again got this when I was in the Netherlands at a separate time, and this was also picked up from a Foot Locker there. So yeah, I picked this up because one, the colorway is beautiful. You can see this nice gradient over here, which I believe was inspired by sunsets in Florida, and also because of the historical significance of the sneaker, because you know, I'm a sneaker nerd and I love the culture and history behind all these sneakers. I knew that there was a lot of historical significance of the TNs in both the UK and surprisingly as well as Australia, I believe, because there's this one Instagram page that I follow, sells a lot of these TNs for crazy prices based in Australia. So I guess these must be popular in the land down under. And yeah, I picked this up, and the packaging for the sneaker and for the whole campaign in general is honestly so beautiful. I'll put up a picture of the packaging somewhere over here, and as you guys can see, Nike really put in a lot of effort for this. One really cool thing about this release was that they included this, the anatomical arch supports, which is a nice detail that Nike put in, because the story behind these is that these supports were included in the OG models of this sneaker when it was released in, I believe, 1998. So I think Nike just wanted to have a sort of a throwback moment to when they first released. But yeah, anyways, for the $1 million question, will I be keeping this? You know, once again, like many of my other MX sneakers, I'm not sure. It's such a cop-out answer, I know. But the thing is, I've gotten a fair amount of use out of the sneaker, so the resale prices won't be as high. But also, I think that this sneaker is just super duper beautiful, and honestly, it'll be hard for me to let go. Now, some might say that this will be difficult for me to fit into the way I dress now, but I saw a video previously of Sanjeev trying to style these in the way that he styles it with, you know, white pants. So I was quite inspired by that. So maybe I'll see if I can do a little bit of that kind of deal with these. But yeah, we'll probably hold on to them. But anyways, that brings us to the end of today's video. So I hope that you guys like this video. This is once again like my previous collection video, a little bit of an unscripted kind of thing. Well, I hope you guys liked it anyways. Also, I once again apologize for being gone for so long. I'll see if I can try to get back in the swing of things. Also, if you guys would like to pick up some of the sneakers that I've shown today, or the sneakers that I showed in my previous MX1 collection, I'll link my carousel down below if you guys are based in Singapore, or you guys can just DM me on Instagram over here and I'll see if I can sort anything out with you guys. For reference, I'm a 9.5, so most of the sneakers are 9.5 except for the MX98s I showed today, which are size 10. If you guys did like the video, please do leave a like down below. It really helps out the channel. And if you guys want to watch more videos about streetwear, men's fashion, or sneakers, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below as well. But until next time, see you guys and peace out.